do you think the CMS will continue to sort of be this foundation layer that just houses the content for DXPs to really reach their potential, or do you see the CMS playing a more active role in not just the DXP but the overall customer experience? Do you think there's a sort of impact that a CMS could have for the user or for the customer?
Good question. I mean, I would say, this is not my term, so I haven't coined this term, but content is currency, right? When you have content, you've got currency. When you have a marketing team who's producing content for you, it means you can expand into different areas, to different channels, and produce better experiences, right? I mentioned personalization earlier. Right. You can only really, execute a personalization strategy if you've got enough content to do it, right? Because you need enough content to speak to multiple different customer segments at the same time, or different journeys, right? You need content to do that, right? Right. So when it comes to Headless CMS, again, it's perfectly placed to house all of that content, and selectively deliver all of that content to the right person at the right time. So going back to your question, will a Headless CMS play a central role? I think it already is, and I think it's impossible really at the moment anyway to sort of, like I mentioned, sort of take it out of the equation, right? I mean, if you take it out of the equation, nothing is bridged together anymore, right? That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about a central content hub that has all your content and distributes it wherever it needs to go, and it's sort of the spokes to the wheel, right? I mean, without it, just nothing really gets to its destination. True. And your content never really gets to the destination, and therefore your personalization strategy doesn't work. So I think it already plays a very integral role, and I don't really see that changing. I think we're going to see, again, like we mentioned earlier, more Headless CMSs transitioning into the hybrid space where they're offering the API architecture, but they're also offering marketers their tool set, simply because this is now becoming the norm, right? Where the content is all in one place, but it needs to be designed, and it needs a marketer's touch before it reaches the end user on any of the channels that company is using. Right. And I think that's where we're heading. I think that transition is happening now, and I think we're now seeing more and more companies again integrating their content with their commerce a bit more. We're seeing commerce websites where it's not just selling; it's talking about information, and they've got pages and pages of content, and they're giving their customers, not just information on the individual products, but information about the industry, information about that topic, right? Whatever it is they're selling. And the Headless CMS just empowers that whole movement, and that kind of movement is, let's not forget, this isn't something that marketers and developers are doing from thin air. They think it might work. This is literally just answering the market. The market wants that. The market, every consumer in every industry is hungry for content, right? So if you've got an e-commerce platform and you're not delivering that content, they're going to go and read that content somewhere else. But every company wants to be that source of content, that source of information, that source of education, and a Headless CMS allows them to do that on a massive scale and on a personalized scale, in a personalized way as well. So to answer your question, extremely central, extremely integral, and I can't see that changing anytime soon.
Fantastic. I mean, I'm really excited